we go. What up, everyone? This is Shorty Logic Podcast. I am Shorty Logic. Here are my hosts.
What's good, everybody? This is Miss Sugar in the building.
How y'all doing? This is Bless. Hope everyone's well tonight.
So it was off for about a week. We off for a week.
Yeah.
Had some family death, had to do funeral and everything, but we back in the full effect. We coming hard. We gonna come harder and harder every week from now on. So we're gonna go ahead into our topic. Our topic is tonight is what is the topic, Mika? I forgot.
How to create generational wealth and make a business plan. So I say make a business plan. And then also I put like start a business, whether it's, me, I do hair, nails, and different things like that. So you can teach your children. I feel like you can teach your children the things that you've already learned. Like how I know how to do hair and nails. My children, also both of my daughters know how to do hair and nails, not because they actually went to school, which one of them went for a couple of months, but she knew what to do, all the basics beforehand because I taught her how to do it. So even I told if you want to go to school and you live on your own, even if you just got to get you a little part-time job or whatever you want to do, if you want to have a business plan, then you have to make sure that you have to first put one of those, what's some boards called? Make
vision boards.
Yeah, exactly. And just focus on everything you feel like you want to do in life. If you want to have, a good job, a car, apartment, put it in order the way you feel like you want it to fall. But as far as a business, have some kind of business plan. Because you can definitely, people don't think you can make enough money off of hair and nails to actually get generational wealth, but you can. It's all about your customers and things like that. Because when I left Louisville, I had a lot of customers. And if I would have just stuck to it, even if I would have got a business, I could have let it grow. But I was so busy focusing on other things like healthcare and things like that. But I feel like if I would have stuck to it and stuck to my plan and stayed there, then I still could have built. I can probably start it here and do it as well. But you can definitely grow your business if you're really locked down and you want to do such. And then also I put like a boutique. You can do boutiques. I don't care if you want to cook a dinner, get a food truck. Like you can do different things like that and teach your children to cook or do things like that. And then just carry it on if that's something y'all really want to do. But that's just my thoughts on some of the things you can do.
Okay. What you got, Miss Bless? I mean, Miss Sugar.
Damn, have I been gone that long? You don't even know my name?
You didn't know the topic.
Hey.
No, I agree with Miss Bless. Like, I think also a part of first you got to know what you consider is generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
True.
You got to understand what it is first, and then capitalize off of that because it starts out with a passion. It starts out with a passion, a desire. And back in the day, generational wealth was having land, it was connected to your legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, having land, having cattle, having businesses, like Bless said, you know, things like that. It was a variety of things to create your generational wealth and to pass that on to the next generation and the next generation, because keyword is generational. So to pass it on. So I always feel like when you create generational wealth, whether it be in business as far as creating a financial foundation that will sustain you and your family as it proceeds to go down the line, then do that, you know, whatever it is. You got to have a passion for it, create it, and then capitalize on it, and then protect it, so that it does go on to the next and the next and the next. So it just depends on what you consider to be generational wealth.
That is true. That is true. That it all depends on what you consider as generational wealth. You know, because like here, my podcast, you know what I'm saying? I'm building something, you know what I'm saying? And say for the next generation, my son and your grandson, and and on, they all can come together, right? But the thing is though, this was my passion. And say it does become manifest and becomes multi-million-dollar franchise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what if, since I built this, but what if my son is not in that, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's a lot of things. What I've seen, like, it is building generational wealth is I feel like you have to do, but at the same time, it's kind of iffy, because what if you passing it down and they don't have the type of drive that you have?
You see it all the time. Like, you see people that capitalize off of their grandfathers and their grandmothers and what their passion was, like CJ Walker, Madam CJ Walker. She was the person who created the Murphy hair care, things like that, you know. And so she capitalized off that and became this great person who had this huge business, multi-million-dollar business. The first Black woman to do so, as far in the industry that she was in. And then she passed that along to her daughter. Now, her daughter, may not have the passion for the hairline like she did, but she has the generational wealth there to capitalize off into her passion, and then so forth and so forth and so forth. So yeah, you got to understand that whatever you do create may not be your children's passion like it was your passion, but you have the capital there, to where you have to teach them to where they will say, okay, we're going to carry on the generational wealth. I done bought land, I done bought other businesses, because you branch it off. You branch it off to other things, So therefore, something else within that generational wealth gravitates to your children.
Right.
And your children understand the foundation of that and what exactly it means to have generational wealth. And then carry that on and carry that on. So how you think there's people out here that is living off generational wealth and never put forth any effort into creating that foundation. They just inherited that foundation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's very true.
That's why I said you got to understand what generational wealth is, and then capitalize off of it, and then pass it on, and make sure you pass it on to the right children too, because
you got to look at it, like I said before, you got to hold someone's coming in. Mr. Yes Sir is coming in, baby.
I knew it. I knew he was coming into this topic.
We did too.
What's going on, Paula? What's going on, Paula? What's going on?
What's going on?
Hey, man. Yeah. Now I was coming in. What you say?
We knew we was gonna pull you out.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this is one of them topics that we needed here.
Yes.
Yeah. So for Black folk, man, we struggle with this one. We struggle.
Big time.
Cause we don't look to pass anything down. We want to spend what we got, and we don't have anything left to give anybody.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for us, I mean, hell, the simplest thing, is life insurance.
That part.
I
Yes.
mean, and we're cooking dinners, we're frying chicken, fish, we're doing GoFundMes, we're doing car washes, bucket shakes, whatever we can to bury somebody. Well, I mean, less than like 30 to $1 a day. I mean, life insurance. I mean, it's just crazy for not to have something.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
agree.
and then the earlier you get it, whether it be whole life or term, more. It's going to be more monetary value. It's going to be whole life, where you can actually borrow from. And it's going to be longevity for the person that you leave it for. If you live past a certain age, that's truly the first thing for our generation. Well, but what I'm trying to get into, what I'm into now, is real estate.
Yes.
Property.
Mhm.
So because I got a couple of things all right now, and trying to get into another joint venture for some other stuff. So, I mean, just property itself, it's just not going to lose its value regardless. I mean, it's always, and now we get Cheeto Head in play. So we don't know what Cheeto Head, you don't know what First Lady Trump, we don't know what he's going to do. But as far as like people with like Section 8 and people that's with HUD and all these different programs, they're always going to need somewhere to live. So
True.
you get a hold of, just a little piece of property at grandmama's house or your house where you at now, just hold on to it.
Right.
Hold on to it. If something gets left
That
to
was
you,
the original generation wealth was land and cattle and stuff like that. So, but the thing is, Kelly, like you said, first of all, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. The cultural differences of what generational wealth is huge because, I'm not trying to make this a race thing, but you got white folks out here that are passing that land on to their kids. And they're passing that business on to their kids. And they make sure their kids have the passion to continue and to thrive and understanding what that is to carry on. Because you can't just give it to anybody. Right. You have to give it to somebody who actually understands that they got to keep it going. They got to keep it in the family. And this is why they own so much property and land, and like you said, real estate and all kinds of stuff. You have farmers out here who are teaching their kids how to farm and keep this land in the in the family and stuff like that. We don't do stuff like that, and that's a problem.
Not anymore.
Because a lot, and I told you, Mr. Yes Sir said,
the time has changed so much.
Want to spend everything now.
Right, and the time has changed so much, and it's sad because Kelly, you right when it comes to insurance. That's the first thing we think about is insurance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But insurance is not generational wealth. It's a free ticket. It's a free ticket. If your family member passes on and has a will, and they leave you this much stuff in the will, let me tell you something. A will is not easy to deal with either because the state comes in to disrupt that will.
Yeah,
and then sometimes
that's why we got to do. That's why we got to deal in trust. That's why we got to see now. I mean, that's why assets and all that. That's what I'm working on. That's another thing I'm working on myself too, to do to have that protection under umbrella in trust. I mean, that keeps that keeps the probate, keeps the state out of your business. That keep you have specific instructions.
Exactly.
When you leave here, can't nobody do it. Your will can be in specific instructions, but someone can contest the will.
That's too
No one can contest the trust.
Trust. Exactly.
It's a little more work, costs a little more money, but I think, man, our children are worth it.
But you can speak in that trust, and you can say, "I'm passing this house and this property down to you." And also within it, I'm also letting you know you can't sell it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You can't sell it.
Yeah. I mean, that's all type of avenue, but I think people shouldn't be scared like she was like you was talking about the hair and nails. I think people that we let fear stop us from a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Like if I'm talented, that I can be a cosmetologist or nail technician or all those things that I see that black, white are indifferent that they do. And let me see how I can incorporate into an LLC or S Corp or all these different levels of business. And I can take this small ideal into something that's going to be lingering on and to our lead friend, and maybe my babies, they don't have to be hairdressers. They don't have to be all these things.
Yeah.
But
Right.
what the thing is, I think that we view ourselves so small that we don't see outside of our own situation. And you can't go into another generation if you don't see yourself in this generation as being somebody more than just being or just surviving or just living.
Because
You
we've
got-
been mentally manipulated.
Right,
We've been trained to think. We've been used to getting no's, a whole lot of no's. We are used to looking on social media now and saying we can't do that because they said we couldn't do that, or we can't do that because how are we going to even begin to do that? The lessons have not been learned because they haven't been taught.
True.
I say this too. I say this too. I say this all the time. It's time to unprogram yourself to the things you have been accustomed to. I say it all the time. Unprogram your mind from what you've been accustomed to.
I'll pick it back off that. Well, I pick it back off it because we have to understand that what the program actually is.
You have to go in
True.
I'm about to do my podcast.
Oh man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so we got to understand what the program actually is, and back part of BD programming. We got to understand what part of our role is, and get the program. So I can with echo. I'm sorry.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh no! Turn this speaker off.
Mute. That's right. To Kelly.
I did.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, okay. I felt like I was hearing like I have 2 or 3 people talking at the same time, so I didn't want to talk over nobody.
Oh, you good?
No, I'm saying like far as like you talking about being deprogrammed or unprogrammed, we got to understand what that was before all of us was even born. And I think that we've fallen short in our age group that's on here now, that now we got all this information and technology, we can't be programmed because we know better.
Right.
Because now, like LSC, man, you can start something for free at $29. Or if I want to get into a trade, I want to get into real estate, I want to know what insurance look like, or I want to know what a small business look like, or I want to get into whatever that the masses are getting into, that there's so much information for free that I don't have to pay anybody, then I'm letting myself down and I'm letting my children, whoever's come back behind me, if I don't do something that they're going to be okay. I don't mean, because you always want to have a life for your children way better than what you have. We understand that. But you also want them to be able to appreciate whatever that's going to be left or what they're going to be doing too.
Very true.
Because a spoiled child is the worst thing. Excuse me, a spoiled young adult is the worst thing.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? And now here you got a 19, 20, 20-year-old person, mama up here, daddy's Javante, that left some nice piece of change. What's up? You know, what we really doing? And like you were saying, Ebony, leave things in place about how this is going to be spent, how this is going to work out. Right. So if God is willing and allow me to leave you something that's going to be beneficial to you, it ain't going to be gone by tomorrow night because you know you done had this, that, and the third. And I think that for us black folk, we struggle, man. We live in moments. I think, man, we gotta look far as we have less days behind and ahead. So we got so time is getting short. Everybody on the screen. Everybody on the screen. You know what I'm saying? And once you look at how that figures in your life, I think, man, the whole generation of wealth are just figuring out what is going to be after I'm gone. It's going to make more sense.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel that. So we're going to go to our first video.
So if you become the person who educates people on money, and then you show them how to use insurance to save money on taxes, and you show them how to use insurance to create perpetual generational wealth for their families. Most people don't like life insurance. They don't want to talk about it. But what if life insurance were more than life insurance? What if life insurance were both income replacement insurance, whether you die or live? What if your family had it as a policy? I don't mean a life insurance policy, but a family policy that everybody in our family, our family trust buys a life insurance policy on everyone. And every time someone dies, the money from the life insurance policy goes into the family trust that all the family members are the beneficiaries of. And we take some of those life insurance proceeds and buy more life insurance on the people in the family. So as your family grows, your wealth grows. So
That part.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's a real thing. I think that we got to get away from fear, man. Because I think that we waste so much money on dumb stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you got to look at what you actually spend your money on, and say, "Well, man, I can't afford that." Well, then go get your Kroger receipt. Go get that liquor store, that smoke, whatever you do, whatever your bad habit is, and look at that receipt and say, man, I spent $40 on. I spent $60. Man, I definitely can do it. And the thing about we talking about insurance, like I made different type, like whole life, like a couple of things that I've jumped into, were when he's talking about the trust and bond off, and it's like real money that you can touch now before you leave here.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have a nice nest egg when you leave here. And I'm telling you, it's not crazy if you look at all of the things that you spend on a regular basis during the week. I mean, you got your necessities where you have gas and you have your lights and phone and your mortgage, rent, whatever. But then you look at all the other stuff that you buy, and you said, okay, well, this month I might not do this, that, and the third, or this month I might, you know what I'm saying? Where you can make that a part of your monthly stuff. And I'm not doing no budgeting class or whatever. I'm just saying that we got to take fear off the table to make it okay for us later on.
Right.
Because later on, it's getting shorter for everybody up here. Because one thing about when you grow, one thing about keep what the older folks you say, man, you keep on living, you're gonna get older. So if you keep on living, you're gonna get older.
And everybody's so worried about the now, and everybody wants to see the results now. Instant. And so they're impatient. They're impatient with understanding what they can't have now. Because people are in such a rush for everything. And it's like, okay, you can invest, like Kelly said, you can invest in everything else around you, but why are you not investing in your generational wealth, creating your generational wealth? Right. It's so many things that you could do, even in tax wise. Like you talking about tax, even in tax wise, there's so many things you could do. I remember back then, my mom always told me, save all your receipts, everything. Whatever you purchase, whatever, save everything. And at the end of the year, you can file all that back on your taxes.
Yeah.
And anything that you pay taxes out for, you can get that returned. You just gotta learn how to do it under the right codes, the right paperwork, stuff like that. Because they're gonna make it tricky for you, of course, because they don't want to give it back. They don't want to give it back. But technically, tax is not a thing that is a necessity. It's not a thing that's a necessity. You only believe that because the government programs you to think that that's what it is, but it's not. Actually, technically, you don't have to pay in the taxes.
So, piggyback on that, Ebony, man, you get out of my head. So, your first lady, Trump, why you think, man, he made billions of dollars and he showed you his tax return? Man, he made $531 million, and you know how much money he showed you on the return. He paid $23,000 on damn near $500 million. Because same thing what you're saying for the tax codes. Now, this is the thing. Fury sits in for us because we're going to penitentiary if we do that. It's just a fact. It's a fact.
Yeah.
He has the money where he can pay his tax attorneys to decipher the tax codes and find out the ins and outs and the loopholes and all that. You know what? That saying, everybody got the same 24 hours in a day. A lot of those books that are free, and with this free thing that we're talking on right now, as far as information, we can find out them same things. It's crazy you talking about that. I've been reading on that for like the past 6 months. Because I'm a reader. I like to read. I read books. I'm a reader. So I've been reading on exactly what you've been talking about. About like there's a book called Taxation something. I have to look it up when I get off here. I'll send it to y'all. But there's a book that it talks about exactly what you're saying about. It's like the Moors. I don't know if you heard of the Moors. Who the Moors are? That's their thing. You know what I'm saying? They're a little radical with it. You know what I'm saying? They're a little aggressive with it. I don't need to be aggressive. I just want to lay back in the cut, and if it works for me, it works. If it don't, I don't want to alert the government to, you know what I'm saying, on what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
But
it boils down to finding out your facts. It boils down to doing the research
and what works for you in your life, in your box,
right?
You know, and your box, and what's safe for you. So don't put you in danger, because man, federal jail, I ain't going.
Don't randomly go out there and say, don't just randomly go out there and say, well, I want to do this, and then just hand this shit to a tax preparer and expect them to figure it out. No, you cannot do that. You have to do your research and figure out what's best for your business, for your household, for everything. But the thing is, motherfuckers is too lazy.
And I was just about
there you go. They want somebody to do it for them. Yeah.
They're too lazy.
Yeah.
So you can't you can't sit there and complain about it, but you too lazy to do the footwork to figure out how it best operates for you. See, now me, I did account auditing work for 17 years.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people, don't get it twisted out there. Just because I'm Miss Sugar don't mean I'm a dum-dum. You know what I'm saying?
No. We know better than that.
Yeah, but doing it for businesses, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person that I'm very detail oriented. I got to know, you're not just gonna come here and teach me this, and I don't know this that led to this. You see what I'm saying? I like to do a step by step, because the more I know, the more I understand it, and I am anal about whatever I do. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm very anal about it. So it's like, I want to know every step. So in the process of doing account auditing work, I learned step by step. And for those who don't know, like when you do account auditing work for businesses, say like for instance for a hotel, you are the person who prepares, you're like a bookkeeper. So you got to be very detailed oriented, because you got to know every single penny that runs through that business, where it come from, where it went, where it's hiding, where you can't see it. You got to make it reappear. There's so many factors to it. So I was the person that kept them in business, because the thing is, if my shit ain't in order, if I ain't got their books in order, when the government hits them and say, we come to do your audit, because you told me that you made $675,000 this year, but we can only account for $4,730. Where's the rest of it at?
Yeah.
I'm the person that keeps them from asking where the rest of it is.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna have to ask where it is, because it's already there, penny by penny. And that's cash, credit cards, checks. It don't matter. It's got a balance.
Yeah.
It's got a balance.
Right. So Ms. Bless, what's some of your input, Ms. Bless? What kind of input you got?
I'm learning today. That's a lot of stuff I'm learning. I like to sit back and observe and learn. I ain't gonna hold you, because I'm very interested in the life insurance policies, and like they was talking about the family policies. I've not heard of family policy before, so I'm very interested in learning more about that.
They got insurance for everything.
See the thing about some of them videos are a little misleading.
Yes.
You know what I'm
That's why
saying?
you gotta do your research.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Well, hey, me, like by saying being a reader and just somebody that just, I cut the TV off in a minute, man, and just go into a deep dive into. It might be 2-3 days for I done looked at some programming, DVR, whatever.
Because those videos is what make people lazy and not do the footwork because they hear it and they believe it and they say, "Oh, it's that simple," and it's not that simple.
It's not. And then the same person that give you them videos, they'll hit you in the inbox or hit you on.
If you
social.
Pay me,
Right.
I will teach you.
Right.
And thing about
Now
that
they want to
is,
teach you something.
and it don't pan out. But there are different variations of insurances. Because I mean, the big thing now is that at IURA, I think it is. If I might be saying it wrong, but that's what they're supposed to be like the multi-million-dollar thing that everybody's going on now. But the thing about that is, you got to have money to put into that.
Right.
So now I'm saying, if you have serious money to put into that one, that one's going to lead, let's say, in 15 years, that you will be a millionaire. But you have to have substantial amount of money to put into that.
Right.
But this like regular whole life insurance, that term life, it stops at a certain age, and if you die or whatever, no, it don't go anywhere. But whole life is way more experienced in term.
Now, so say if I'm getting this right, when it come out to the family insurance, let's say we all actually family. So everyone, this is how I'm taking it. Everyone get insurance, get life insurance, and everybody's a beneficiary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's misleading because I can't think of that. I can't think of that name of policy he's talking about. But thing about that is that's expensive as heck. Because now you are putting multiple people in something. There's no way that an insurance company is going to have some setup where you can have 5 beneficiaries or 6 off of one policy that's going to have this amount of money. You find what I'm saying?
And you best believe if you're gonna benefit, they gonna benefit.
And if that's the case, I got to continue on. I got to continue to get something more from these individuals. Because it's regular insurance, you can have 1, maybe 2 at the max beneficiary, 2 at the max. Whether it be like your child or children, or if you don't have any children, your spouse or your mom, dad, what you know what I'm saying? If you look at them lines on your insurance policy, there's not multiple lines where you're going to have family.
You got to think about it. You branching off a tree. You branching off a family tree. That means that this aunt with this many kids, this uncle with this many kids, this, you branching off so many people to connect to this. And trust me, I'm gonna be honest with you, it ain't gonna work with black.
What you saying, Bless?
This is what I did.
What I was saying.
What's your Bless? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bless.
What I was saying was on my insurance policy with my job.
Yeah.
I have several lines. I have my husband, my 2 kids, and they gave me the option to put both of my grandkids on it. So I had 5 lines that I could have put all of us on it. And it's 3 of them on it right now. So I mean, you can have multiple people on that insurance policy, right? Because I have it on mine. I just you're right. Because matter of fact, I got 2 now. But when I was just my son, when I had no son, and no one, even when I was married, whatever, I had my grandma and my 3 sisters, and you could actually put how many people as long as it add up to 100%. So say if I give 25% to this person, 25% this person, you know what I'm saying? So you can do that because I did that when I was in the service. But now everything it goes 100% to my son. It has to be 100% because I had to do that.
100%.
Yeah.
So okay. Well, that makes it even more sense then. So let's say it's $50,000. It's not going to be 5 people getting $50,000.
No.
I'm saying that's what the video is saying, that you put all these people in this whole multi insurance endeavor, and we all going to have in this family. We all going to get $1 million.
No, see,
I'm saying that's the misleading part of the video.
Yeah. Right. So how I'm
we can have multiple. You can have multiple beneficiaries,
policies.
equal 100% of a pie.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be clear, how many people, whether it be a job, or personal insurance, or whatever, that's looking more than maybe at the ceiling 100,000 or 50,000, 25,000? Because once you get a certain age, your premium goes up.
Yeah.
From 18 to something, it's one thing. And then from 39 to something, it's one thing. And then as soon as you hit 50, it goes up crazy.
That's
and
true.
Then once you hit 62, it's ridiculous. And if the Lord
somebody gonna be putting out more than others.
That's what I'm saying. So then if the Lord continue to let you live, I'm just saying. I mean, some stuff sounds too good to be true. You know what time? You know what? Normally it is.
It usually is.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Write it out.
I've been wanting to say something. I've been putting my hand up, I don't want to,
My bad.
disrupt nobody. I was just gonna say from my personal experience, with like the life insurance, I know that after a certain age, you can't claim them on your policy, but you can have their own policy. And I think that's kind of where they get you at. Like my kids being grown, up into a certain age, I can have them up under me. Now I can have my grandkids up under my life insurance and everything. But like you said, like you can't have multiple people up under there because everybody's not going to get that policy. Are they not going to get that money? So like I was agreeing with y'all, but I've been sitting here listening to y'all, and even through my job, I couldn't have 4 and 5 people. I could have the kids that is under this age under my policy, and then when they got older, they had to have their own policy, if it makes sense. And that's where they mess you up at, and where they take your money, because now you got 2, 3 different policies going out, and you paying so much towards it.
And that's why I said there's so many different policies and life insurance plans out here that it really just depends. Like you said, you from your job, and you're like, here, I can do this. And you're like, I can do this. And then here you saying, well, through my job, I can only do so much. It's so many different policies out here. That's why I said it's important that you do, if you're going to deal with the insurance policies and stuff like that, which is fine, to each his own. But the main factor is to do your background research on it, because you can't go off exactly what they tell you. There's always the hidden line. You can't read it because that motherfucker's so small, so tiny. You're gonna need a magnifying glass to check it, because there's something there hidden that you will not know about.
A lot of people don't want to read the small line. A lot of people don't want to read every line that's on a piece of paper. I'm gonna read every line there is.
Yeah, because they'll go off. You just saying, and all this thing. You know how you go into the bank, or you something like that. Are you going to go get a loan or whatever case may be? And they'll say, this is just saying that if anything happens, then you just sign right there. And all them little words, you ain't read nothing, because what you did was you read them lips that was talking to you.
And let me tell you something. I just bought my truck. Right? Guess what? It was only 6 papers. No, I said 8 papers. It took me over an hour because I want to read everything that was on that paper. Everything.
You had to put in the time to actually read the fine print. Because I'm telling you, anytime you deal with any type of business that is trying to give you something and promising you this and that, do not underestimate them. There is something in that clause that is going to benefit them.
Of course.
For you.
It's going to.
Yes,
it has to, because that's where they make their money.
Exactly. That's their business. It's
going to benefit them in the long run. No matter what it is, like they have to still make their money.
Yes, they're not just doing this to look out for you. No, there is nobody out here. There's no
winning, and they're not winning.
There's no business out here that is literally out here looking out for you.
No,
You got to understand that. There's no business out here. There's no insurance company out here. There's no rental insurance company out here. All this, property land insurance company out here. Yeah. None of them are out here truly looking to benefit you. They are benefiting them in some kind of way, shape, or form. That's why you have to stop being lazy and literally check it out. Read everything that you sign. You know, do your research. Google it. Google is free all day long. Google it and figure out, well, what does this mean? If you don't know what it means, Google it and see what this means. Well, in this clause, it says such and such. What does that mean? Because I don't understand what that means. Facts. Google it.
Facts.
But I'd say, man, profit is the bottom line. I mean, they're trying to make a profit off you.
Exactly.
And their services are for sale. But exactly. I think what the thing is, as far as like insurance, period, I mean, term life has an end date. So term, because that's the most inexpensive, and it starts to get crazy as the older you get. So as far as like the generational part in term life, unless we in the streets or we out here acting a fool, that's going to be the go-to move for us. The next person or persons getting that money and being able to survive. People not survive, but be able to flourish.
Right.
These other insurance is going to be another option, but they're way more expensive.
Yeah.
But I just say that there's no reason for anybody on this earth, 18 years old as an adult to 90, not to have something with these GoFundMes and all this other stuff where there's all type of stuff. Even these prearranged funeral type deal payment plans are way inexpensive. I mean, my parents, we just finished up theirs, man. My mother and father, 80 and 81 years, 80 and 81. So that's something that we don't have to worry about, man. Lord willing, it's going to be another 80 years, which I don't know what, unrealistic, so I don't care. But I just know that they are good when it comes to the final life moments. I'm saying that, again, like every time about like Google and all this other things, there's just too much information for you to get caught with your pants down when it's time to leave.
Yeah.
And we all gonna get sick, something might happen, or we might get blessed, we don't have nothing happen. You know what I'm saying? But it just doesn't make any sense not to have something. Whether it's your job or whether it's through a supplemental or like me and Jay do the VA or or something. Yeah. And the thing, and the sad part with me and Jay was we was worth more enlisted dead than we are now.
Right.
I'm talking about, man, how was it? Was it 100,000, 200,000, Jay?
It was 230.
230, and that's way less than that now.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, no questions asked or nothing. Your business 230 here, nothing, and we didn't pay for none of it, did we? Didn't pay a dime on that.
Didn't pay a dime on it.
Didn't pay. I mean, that's just crazy, man. That's nuts.
Because
stuff like it bothers me though, because I'm like,
my bonus signings, my bonus signings getting when I first joined was $120,000.
Yeah,
that was a bonus, but I didn't get all that at once. They broke it up and
and taxed the stuff out of it,
and taxed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
My second reenlistment, I only got 50,000.
Yeah, so really, it more or less probably about 17,000 after the fees and taxes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right. It sounds like a whole lot of money. It sounds like a whole lot of money, did it? When he said 200,000, 100,000, it's like a whole lot of money, don't it? And then Uncle Sam ram you and put it in you.
A lot of money. But I
put it in you
when I was overseas because I was getting all that, hazard pay and stuff like that. I didn't really spend much money when I was overseas, so I came home with what after taxes was like $70-something thousand.
And you spent all on dumb stuff.
Hell yeah.
See what I'm saying? This is, hey man, this topic was perfect. This topic was hey, that was a cold setup, Jay, and you dunked it. You dunked it. Am I lying?
No, you ain't lying.
Hey Jay, hey man, you might have you put a video on we can close it tonight. That was perfect. That was perfect. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. That was perfect. That was perfect.
Here's how to get started in building generational wealth. Building wealth isn't just about you, It's about creating a financial legacy for your family. Many executives, doctors, and lawyers that I work with want to build generational wealth, but don't even know where to start. It's about making smart moves now to set your family up for the future. The first most important thing is invest in appreciating assets like real estate or growth-oriented portfolios such as mutual funds or stocks. The second thing, which is very important, is to protect the wealth. Set up trust and wills to ensure you have the right type of protection and have the right transfer strategy so you can bring the wealth to the next generation efficiently. And last but not least, educate the next generation about financial literacy to sustain that legacy so they don't squander all the dollars you work so hard to build and bring into the family. If you want to start building generational wealth, shoot me a message so we can create a strategy tailored to your family and your goals, and most importantly, your legacy.
I told
That
you.
was perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
It said everything you needed.
That was right on. That was right on point. That's right on point.
Mhm.
Right on point. Now that's the cat. When he said he's talking about he's gonna want that he's gonna want that bless. He want that
You
1995
want
from
that
you.
starter fee. You want that starter fee.
Let me get that 1995 from you.
Yeah. And not a penny less.
Man,
glad that
I gotta put 95, not $20.
Okay.
1995.
That's right.
And see, I'm glad that I had the knowledge, and I had my auntie to when I started my son's trust in 2020.
Yeah.
You know, what he was talking about to ensure that trust, I learned that. My aunt taught me how to do that too, so I could also protect that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was a good one.
Now your goal is that you have that in place is to teach him.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
Facts.
We
That way,
gotta understand how money works.
you passing it on to the right person that understands what that general wealth comes with and what it means.
Yeah. We gotta understand what money is, and because just going to work every day, it is what it is. Because at some point, everybody up here is gonna be on a fixed income.
Oh yeah.
Where you are. I'm assuming that we all want to retire. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, I ain't trying to worry.
I'm making that assumption.
I'm busting my ass right now. You know.
That's what I'm saying. Like literally, we want to be able to sit down, chill our way out. If you want to walk around your drawers or just, whatever. If you don't want to get out of bed, if you don't want to do nothing, you want to be able to be okay. And whatever that little piece of change, or a nice piece of change, whatever you got, whatever it is, you want that baby to function for you.
But don't say sit down and do nothing, because you're not gonna.
No. I know. I'm saying
when you retire, when you retire, even when you retire, you still ain't gonna be able to sit down and do nothing. Because let me tell you something, the government gonna make sure they got a job for your ass.
Oh yeah.
And even it comes down to you know, it's like, it's funny to me because like we sitting up here talking about generational wealth and stuff like that. But there's still within that, there's always an underlying issue. And it's like when people retire and you done bought this house and you got this land and okay, what happens after that? You still gonna have to keep up with property tax.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we the only country that got to pay taxes on everything.
Man,
everything. So it's
crazy.
like,
that's crazy.
So,
you talking
you
about
know, and it's crazy because it's like, I own this. You told me I own this. If I pay this off, I own this. But you still technically don't own it.
We don't
own it.
So now this is the thing with First Lady Trump. So they are doing what they had the Homestead Act for senior citizens, and that been in play since Obama, or maybe before. I might be getting wrong with the dates. But if once you reach a certain age, your tax, as far as your home, you don't pay them, or you pay a certain percentage depending on what your income is.
Mm-hmm.
So a Cheeto Head is saying, I call Trump Cheeto Head because orange hair. I'm retarded. Cheeto Head.
Clone at this point, because shit, the way that little boy talked about him so bad.
Hey, did y'all hear what that little boy said?
Yes.
I did.
What wasn't that
I feel
crazy?
like that wasn't even really Trump, because Trump was sitting there like this, and I feel like that wasn't really Trump. It had to be Trump.
I ain't even saying that. I thought, okay, now they messing with us with this AI. I said, man, maybe that little boy didn't really say that.
Oh, he said what he said.
I thought it was AI. That little boy really said that.
No, everybody been talking about that. He said what he said.
No. I know everybody. you know, just because everybody talks about it, I don't mean that it's actually true.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's why I was a little hesitant to jump all the way out the window with it. But then
he said,
once, because now I'm getting confirmation from my partners, I know it's real deal. But two things hit me with that. First, I was like, wow. Then second part, I was sad. Because now the position of the person that's supposed to be the commander in chief. Now we understand what military, what that means, Jay. The commander in chief, the leader of the free world.
got a hand in his back.
He's not that person.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now think about this. Now, you know what? Bump all that, Jay. Let's say you and your son, y'all up here chilling in the White House, and your son up here, man, just acting a donkey, talking the fool, jump on your neck. What they gonna do to you, Jay?
What they gonna do to me?
Get your black ass up out of here.
The point is, come on now. Plus, we are this anyway.
That's the first thing. What I'm saying is that.
I wouldn't fire as president anyway because I would have tore his little ass up on national television.
What I'm saying is white folk ain't gonna do that. But the second part is they're not gonna allow black people to do that anyway. They're not gonna allow a black little boy. That's what I'm saying. They're not gonna let a black little boy do that. That's what I'm saying.
But the last child that was in the Oval Office was JFK's son, and he was playing underneath his desk.
Yeah,
and they captured it.
Yeah, chilling though, but he wasn't talking
crazy.
Wasn't talking to me.
Ass like that. That little boy told him, he said, "You're not the president. You need to go. You need to get up. And
you need to go. Get out here."
He told him to hush.
Yeah, told him to shut the fuck up.
He told him to hush.
He said, "Shut the fuck up."
He told him to shut the fuck up.
No, fuck up.
Hold on.
He said, shut the fuck up.
He said, in exact words, he said, "Shut your fucking mouth."
Yeah.
Is what he said. Shut your fucking mouth.
Man, y'all, I'm scared, man. I'm scared.
Yeah, because Elon Musk.
No, I'm dead serious. I'm scared.
Talking about him again.
I'm scared. I'm man enough to say right now, I'm scared.
Yeah,
I'm scared. We're telling him to shut his fucking mouth.
I'm scared.
Because Elon Musk is running the office. Everybody.
He is.
I'm one of them people, man, that I hate the unknown, man. That's one of my pet peeves.
But see, that's that shit that they
I'm
thought
not a
cute
I'm
when
not a
they
control
were kids.
freak.
They think that's just cute when they little kids and they cussing and doing all that other stuff and they acting a damn fool. But the first thing they want to do is get upset at a black man or woman who tries to correct their kids. When they came up with all this CPS and all this other shit.
Lord,
now, let me tell you something. They threw a battery in a motherfucker's back is what they did. They threw a battery in their back and they said, okay, the way to control this is we're going to control their kids by doing this. And then when they out here and they started showing their ass, then they come back to you and they say, your kids are showing your ass. You need to correct it. Then when you correct it, they say you wrong for how you corrected it. So now we back in it. We got this. So they started a routine of some bullshit, and then now they want somebody to come and fix it. And then I see all these TikTokers and everybody else on social media because opinions are like an asshole. Everybody got one, and I got one too. But the thing is for me is that now that all this shit is occurring, I've been seeing more videos talking about what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Why are y'all not standing up now? Why y'all not standing up now?
What?
Because the thing is, at the end of the day, we try to tell y'all. And you know what? You are the type of motherfuckers that need to hear we told you so.
Oh, wow.
Because when we was trying, it wasn't good enough. So now here is your I told you so. And I be damned if I do anything that's going to benefit you when you don't benefit us. And you feel some type of way about that, but that's the reality of it. So now you deal with the pot piss that you stepped into.
All right.
With that being said,
hold on, Jay, real quick. I gotta flip the script. Hey, Tamika, what you got? What I'm looking at your fit, man. What you got on? What's your fit? Are you the Rhinestone Cowboy? What you got on? Rhinestone Cowboy.
Hey, pajamas. I didn't
want to say. I didn't want to hit you with your jammies on. I didn't want to cause no friction in your house. But I was peeping the fed.
I sure am real
comfortable. Well, look, Jay. I had to make sure Soldier. I had to make Sister Soldier was okay. I had to break the monotony on because I didn't want to get us put off the air. Because Sister Soldier, aka Miss Bless, went ham. Damn it, she went ham. Thank you, sis. That was needed.
That wasn't Miss Bless. That was me.
Excuse me.
I'm going to the next
Now,
video.
see, you wouldn't.
I'm sorry.
You're like, hey, I'm not giving 50-50. We're putting everything into
one pot. And you know how entrepreneurship is.
Right.
Money is up and down. Every month is different. Some months you don't get anything.
Right.
His check is consistent. He has his steady salary. It's mine that where I make a lot of money, but every month looks different.
Yes.
So his check pays the bills, pays all the bills because that check we know is going to hit on the first. Now my check, which comes in sporadically.
Yes, I get it.
Comes into the same bank account. That's when we try to cover our investments,
Yes.
pay off our debt. We're looking to start a family next year, paying into a future college kids fund, paying into our savings account, our down payment for a home. All of the extra money comes with my check. That goes straight into our savings account or we divvy it up to pay off things.
My bad, Evan. That was a fraudulent slip. That was a fraudulent, fraudulent slip.
Nah, you good.
Now I was talking to her, and I didn't use her government, and then I said I was all over the place. I'm like, I didn't use her government, and then she called you blessed. Wow, Lord have mercy.
Good. You good.
Lord have mercy.
You
It's
had me
all
going
love
to jail
up on
for
this
something I
panel.
ain't did.
What you say?
But that's what's looking like.
What?
You be that witness having me going to jail for something I ain't even did.
Right. Hey, look. If it go down when they time stamp his podcast, we all done it. So it is what it is.
They gonna come for me after this.
all
It's
for
all right.
one.
I don't care.
Michelle, your nerd got struck.
Hey, let me tell you something. Because you know what? We are in a time where it's time to stop playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we have allowed so much for so long. And the thing is, this is the thing. I'm not, me personally, you're not going to sit up here and discredit my people and act like we didn't try to do nothing. Because we have good people in our culture that try to do something. And it gets ignored, it gets blown over, it gets excused, it gets dismissed, and everything else. I'm sorry. I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm tired.
True.
I'm tired of that. So now, like I said, we in a place of life where it's time to show up and show out. So if I have to spank you like your mama should have did, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do because that's what needed to be done.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not wrong.
She's not. Absolutely.
She's not
I
wrong.
feel like it started when they took the prayer out of school. They took everything, the Pledge of Allegiance. They took everything.
They did it all.
Grew up on. They took it out the school. Then
But see, when you live a privileged life and you think that everything falls in your lap and that's how it's supposed to be, and then now you got some shit that you done stepped in, and now you need help. You need somebody to come pull you up out of the shit. Well, baby, no.
They created these monsters. They took the parenting out the home. They did all of that.
So I'm with you on everything you're saying, prayer to school and all that, but I'm saying, who are the white supremacists and the evangelical radical person praying to? That what church do they go to? I think it's got to be 4 or 5 different parts of heaven that we don't know exists, because we all know that if we are true believers in Christ, who was he around? He would never be around a Trump or Elon Musk.
Right.
He would never be around the government. When he fed the 5,000, said, man, we only got 6 fishes and bread, man, we got plenty. And all them people didn't have nothing. And then we got the Doge and all these other folk talking about what we're going to take away, what we're going to freeze, and what we're going to eliminate. And you still got the people that suffer and don't have nothing.
Yeah.
And then the Jesus that I know.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And the Holy Spirit that I understand that live. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's the thing. We got to get that mindset out that we're suffering, because we're not. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Everything that got thrown at us did nothing but make us the strongest soldiers out here. And why do you think now? Why do you think now they're crying to us? Because see, we done went through some shit they couldn't even bring their ass up out of if they wanted to. And when I say this, I'm not saying it for everybody. This is what I'm saying is, if it applies, I'm sorry, not sorry. If it applies, I'm sorry, not sorry.
Shots
So,
fired.
but let me say
Straight
this.
up.
So I'll say this. So I'm say this, and you gonna gunshot me in a minute too. Let me get my sound effect ready. No, what I'm saying is this. I think that we don't have to play into what they always jump into, victimhood.
Exactly.
Hold on, now, this is the thing. This is the thing. It's a slippery slope, because if you are a victim or being victimized, that's what it is. I don't mean that you're weak because somebody victimized or did something to you.
Right.
But it's always this nerve that's put in this box. Are you playing the victim? You playing the victim. If you did something to me or something happened, yes, there is a victim in play. Now, being the victim means I got to stay here and be in this place where I feel less than.
Right.
I don't have to feel like that I'm underneath something.
Yeah, you don't have to stay the victim.
There it is. But I'm saying you still are. If someone took my car and I filed a police report, I'm a victim of a stolen vehicle.
Okay. True.
You follow what I'm saying? Like, I hate when the narrative is always switched about the word victim or being weak. It's not. It's the truth. That's what it is.
Right. Exactly. And I understand that.
No, but what I'm saying is that in today's world, when you hear that word, it's a thing of weakness.
Right.
If someone has done something, okay, whether it be sexual assault, physical assault, or it's a crime, you're a victim.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And you can have all the muscles, all the money, or whatever, but you're a victim.
Right. I get it.
I don't want to get nothing misconstrued about when I say not to say what you're saying was wrong, but I just think that we have to understand what that means and live in our truth, be ourselves, go forward, be with like-minded people, and it's going to be okay.
Right.
And that's being okay is realizing that once you go through the phase of being a victim, you can also be a survivor.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's where we're in.
That's the next
We're in a
phase.
phase of we're survivors. We're
That's the
no
next
longer
phase.
victims. We're survivors.
That's the next phase.
And see, that's what I was getting to. So I'm not saying that you're not a victim when you're being victimized. What I'm saying is you don't have to stay a victim.
Yeah.
You can go through that and get strong. You don't have to stay.
That's not what I was saying. I was saying that
at one point, but
right.
I'm going to be a survivor and I'm going to move on.
But that's not what I was saying. I was saying that it's this whole blackness or darkness on the word victim. I wasn't saying the next phase. Because the next phase is what's needed. You have to get away from being the victim to the next phase. But it's always this cloud around of being, because it's a sign of being weak. And you're not.
Right. Nope.
You're not. Because if someone mistreat you and you come out on top, hey man, you my French, fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what it is, and I in the time that we are right now and what we live right now, and everybody here is over a certain age that we understand where we are and what's going on. I think that we have to understand we got to be around folk that understand what meaning us, you, me, what we're trying to do. And it's not no movement or all this other goofiness and the foolishness. Man, I'm moving, man, to secure and tie back to our topic. I'm moving to secure for my children.
Yep.
I'm moving to secure for my intermediate family. I don't have no grandchildren, so I don't have none of that. So I want to make sure that how I'm moving, how about how we're moving collectively, it's making sense, because I don't know how many more opportunities or what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or years ahead, or how they're going. Is something going to be censored, or it's going to be a way where it's going to and habit of make it where I can't be what I want to do for mines. And everybody on this forum, on the platform, man, I care about y'all, man. And I want that for us, like for y'all families and where we can be comfortable, man, and just be like, yeah, we okay. And you know what? Regardless of what's ever going to come or whatever be, we're gonna be okay.
Right.
Mhm.
We're gonna be okay because melanin folk, black folk, throughout history have always been okay.
Yep.
Mhm. You
Always pull
survive.
through. Always.
Always.
That with that being said, right there, y'all, I'm gonna throw this last video. That's our closing. With that right there, y'all, we had a great show today. All I got to say is, man, take the time to do the research to invest in your own family. You have to invest in yourself, set your family up. You know, help set yourself up to even get knowledge of set your own family for in the future. That's all I gotta say about that. Because a lot of times, like even with insurance, y'all, most people like say talk about fear. A lot of people are scared to talk about health insurance, life insurance. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So you get, like you said, you gotta get out of that fear. You know, you want to step up, you want to elevate. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you want to elevate your family, but also whatever Miss Should talking about, you have to educate them because a lot of these people don't have the drive that way how we have. So just educate themselves, in which we need to educate ourselves to educate them and educate them properly.
Right.
So anybody else got anything?
Stand on business, man, and teach your kids how to stand on business the right way. The right way. I'm not talking about fighting. I'm talking about when it comes down to securing your family and your generational wealth. Stand on business. Teach your kids how to stand on business. Yeah.
And people don't really know. Especially kids don't. Hell, even grown-ups today, they don't even know the meaning of the dollar.
Well, I would say this, man, and it's my last little point. We just got to figure out a way to love ourselves.
True.
We have to love the person that we look at in the mirror enough to love the person that we open that door up in our own house and see that little one, whether they are a grown person or a baby. Because it don't matter if it's your baby and he or she is 0 or they a grown individual. They're still our baby. We gotta love them enough and love ourselves enough to want them to have more than we could ever imagine that we could ever have.
Right.
Because I love that individual that much. And I think we gotta have that mindset. I love that individual more than I could ever imagine I could ever be.
With that being said, yo, man, there's nothing else to be said. This show like the podcast. We out of here.